Roads on I-77 are right here. Some people are kind of hitting the brakes and others are just very excited and hopeful and full speed ahead. But for now, live in Charlotte, Austin Walker, WCNC Charlotte.
Austin, for that report. You can't even move there. Some traffic behind you on 77 anyway.
I know, the traffic is pretty intense on 77 right now. I think it's indicative of some people, holding off on this idea.
That's a good idea, baby. Thanks, Austin. Well, meantime, teens will soon have a shorter way to get their driver's license. Starting Monday, the DMV says teen drivers will only have to have their learner's permit for 6 months before they can get their level 2 provisional license. The wait used to be 12 months, but was shortened to 6 during the pandemic. It went back to 12 on the first of the year. Officials say this left families in limbo. The changes come after a bill passed through the General Assembly. The governor declined to sign it after 10 days, which means it becomes law. Governor Cooper saying in a statement today, quote, "I have concerns that this law could make our roads less safe, and I encourage the Division of Motor Vehicles and the legislature to monitor its effects closely." One person is dead tonight after a car crash in Charlotte that happened this morning. It happened just after 3:30 a.m. on Old Statesville Road, just near the intersection with Gibbon Road. Police have not yet revealed what led up to the crash. We're working to learn more about what happened. A woman also dead after a car crash in Watauga County. Authorities say this happened on Highway 421 near Ward Green Road, just outside of Boone. They say the 52-year-old driver went off the road, off the right side of the road, hit a boulder, then overturned into a creek. She did go to the hospital where she died from her injuries. Authorities say impairment may have been a contributing factor in the crash. That investigation continues. As always, you can stay up to date with this story and others at our website, WCNC.com.
God save the King! God save King Charles! Long live King Charles! May the King live forever!
Today, history made across the pond, the United Kingdom holding the coronation of King Charles III. The 74-year-old son of Queen Elizabeth II was crowned in Britain's first coronation in 70 years. It was the 40th coronation at Westminster Abbey, a tradition that dates back to 1066. And after the ceremony,
Good evening, and the bells of Westminster Abbey still sounding long after the end of the ceremony here. The weather today, typical London. Chilly, overcast, rainy for most of the day. Anything but a normal day, though, in this city. The King and Queen stepping out, giving a wave to the roaring approval of the crowd, then joined by the working royal family and all of the grandchildren, even in the dreary conditions. A flyover from the Red Arrows, dramatic as it passes down the mall and over Buckingham Palace. There was an encore for the King and Queen on the balcony, and then finally Charles giving one last wave to that crowd before heading back into the palace. And this isn't the end of the celebration. There is a huge coronation concert at Windsor Castle. Monday is a bank holiday here set aside for more celebration. No, I think it will likely be a day of rest for many after a party like they haven't seen in London for 70 years. In London, I'm Jay Gray. Back to you now.
well, hundreds of thousands of people in London gathered to watch the ceremony, including one Charlotte woman who got extra close to royalty. Her name's Miranda Millard. She spoke with WCNC about her journey to Britain and her special chance to meet one of the royals. WCNC Charlotte's Kaylin Hagwood brings us her story.
Miranda Miller lives in Charlotte, but has loved Britain since she was a little girl.
When Queen Elizabeth died, I was, very much in mourning.
So when it came time for the coronation of King Charles,
I just didn't know if it would be feasible for me to be here for it.
After chatting with her husband, she took to Instagram to share the idea with her followers. And overnight, a dream came closer to reality.
By the time I basically went to bed the next night, my followers had donated $1,000 for the plane ticket. I'm trying not to get choked up, but I'm always so amazed by people's generosity.
So she grabbed her passport.
My passport came in 30 minutes before I had to be to the airport.
And headed to London, where outside a pub, her dream came true when Kate Middleton, the Princess of Wales, said hello.
She came up and I was just Oh my gosh, the anticipation. I was about to burst, cry, faint. I said, hello, and I came from North Carolina, and I'm just so excited to be here. And I said, my husband got me a ring to match yours. And she goes, well, you look fabulous. And then she said, so what are you doing this weekend? And I was like, coming to see y'all at the coronation. And she just giggled when I said y'all.
And just like that, a mom from the Queen City took her place in history, joining the hundreds of thousands to attend the coronation of King Charles.
I'm still on cloud 9.
Kaylin Hagwood, WCNC Charlotte.
What a great picture. Once in a lifetime opportunity there. Well, the Midnight Diner has officially reopened its new Uptown location. The diner's iconic South End location closed in September of last year after a new developer moved into the area. Midnight Diner's new locations on Trade Street. It's just across from the Spectrum Center. And it still features its trademark 50s inspired style. If you go, you can park for free at the Caldwell and Trade lot. A new Korean pop themed store holds its grand opening in the Charlotte area. Opong started as a family owned business in Seoul, South Korea. The family made the decision to move to the U.S. and relocated to Raleigh. Today marked the first day of its new store located inside Super G Mart in Pineville. K-pop fans can find merchandise like clothing, photo cards, and much more. A big effort today hoping to end lung disease. The American Lung Association hosting its annual Fight for Air Climb event at Truist Field in Uptown. The goal, defeating lung cancer, improving the air we breathe, and eliminating tobacco use and tobacco-related diseases. Participants joined in to climb 800 stadium steps, and organizers say the climb makes it easy to see why their efforts are so important.
If you can't breathe, nothing else matters. So if you go up and down stairs, if you remember, you think about it, you get winded. You get to recognize how important your lungs are, because the only way you're going to climb is to utilize your lungs. Well, people who have chronic lung disease, they can't do that.
This was the 10th year the American Lung Association hosted the climb. And this year marks 150 years of Fort Mills Incorporation, something celebrated at the South Carolina Strawberry Festival. Today, the last day of this year's festival, which began a week ago. Alongside the typical strawberry-themed activities, there will also be live music all day long. That's going to be capped off with fireworks at 9:45 tonight. And today, the WCNC team making a special appearance at the festival, including KJ Jacobs. There you see Kia and Megan and Brittany. There's Larry. I was there as well. Artificial intelligence growing smarter by the day. You may have heard of ChatGPT, a web app where you can type nearly anything you want and it'll give you back an answer. Well, now the hope is to bring its applications into the real world in areas like business and law. That's already taking off. But AI cannot on its own, for example, fill up those craters in the pavement that leave some drivers cursing. Instead, a city in Oregon is using AI in a first-of-its-kind program in the state to get smarter about fixing that small source of suffering. Daisy Caballero shows us how.
We're excited to see what it can do because it's still fairly new.
Artificial intelligence has taken the world by storm and is now helping Oregon City Public Works locate and map out potholes while driving this. It's a street sweeper with a special camera mounted up front. They're calling it the City Rover.
It's really great because it helps us package all that information up into a form that the crews can then take.
City Rover works like a dash camera and actively scans the road for potholes. It also gives crews every detail needed to patch up the hole.
The Rover device gives you the address, the street address of the location of the pothole, gives you a picture, the date and time that it was taken, and then a street view, Google Maps street view of whereabouts it is, and even a QR code so that you can scan it on your phone. It can tell you exactly where that picture was taken.
Now, all the pothole data the City Rover collects gets uploaded to the cloud and then can be viewed right here, which then better helps Public Works keep track of the potholes within their jurisdiction. Lewis says crews often have 50 to 100 potholes to patch in a day. But thanks to City Rover, they can create more efficient routes to hit more in a given day.
I'm surprised by this technology, how accurate it is.
Shane Husband drives with the City Rover once in a while and believes this device helps crews work smarter, not harder.
I see potholes, every day in the city, and there are many that we don't see because we don't drive every road every day. The only other way we find out about them is if the public calls them in and lets us know. And so if they don't call them in and we don't see them in our normal day-to-day work, then it's nice to know that this camera is picking them up to put them on our list.
Oregon City Public Works is currently testing out the Rover, but are hoping to permanently adopt the new technology.
Well, members of the community have the ability to use a free app to report potholes when they see them, so the city can work fast to quickly fill them up. Getting so excited because we're just a few minutes away from the 149th Kentucky Derby. Derby Day has been full of other races leading up to the first leg of the Triple Crown, and a bit of drama when the horse heavily favored to win, Forte, was scratched from the race due to a bruised foot. Right now, the two favorites to win it are Tappet Trice and Angel of Empire, both with 9-2 odds. Post time set for 6:57 live here on WCNC Charlotte. And the Wells Fargo Championship continues for round 3 at Quail Hollow Club. And through 3 rounds, there is a new favorite to take home the trophy. 29-year-old Wyndham Clark has had a stellar round today, shooting an 8 under 63. He came in today 8 under total for the first 2 rounds. It puts him at 16 under going into Sunday. But some players aren't far behind and could jump up tomorrow. Xander Schauffele was 7 under par on the round today and sits in second place at 14 under total. Trailing just behind in a tie for third is Tyrell Hatton and Adam Scott at 11. Needless to say, it should be a thrilling Sunday at Quail Hollow when that tournament wraps up. And that's going to do it for the news here at 6 for your digital platforms. Hope you join us again tonight at 11 on WCNC Charlotte. Have a great night.